team won but one game last season. Certain controversy looms, however, as for some inexplicable reason the team did not play yesterday, leading to speculation that they are overconfident and didn't feel that they needed to prove anything by playing. Here to explain that is Bill Parcells. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Don. You know, I got some things to discuss with you, though.
Yes, sir.
I really do. You know, 5 years ago,
Yes, sir.
I went to New England.
Yeah.
And when I left New York, you were running a well-oiled machine yourself down here.
Yeah.
I mean, you were on top of politics. You were on top of the social scene. I mean, you even delved into sports with a minute degree of expertise. You knew about the John Gotti case.
Yeah.
You know, Don, 5 years, I come back, we're selling shirts. We're selling books. We're selling chips. We got salsa. We got Fujifilm. It's like a damn flea market around here. You know, the only thing left for you and McCord to endorse is denture cream. You know, or maybe since you got that new wife I heard about,
yes,
maybe
sir.
a little generic brand of vitamin B12 or something, huh? Might need that for your one night a month, huh? You got an appointment for February? But listen, and the other thing is your crew.
Yes, Coach.
How about that crack crew you used to have? You got an Italian guy who's in the controller. Who's that? Louis Prima. He can't get the carts in right. You know, it's like me getting 6 penalties in the first half. He screws that up 6 times a day.
Yeah.
And Bernie.
Yes, sir.
Now Bernie used to be the palace guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some guy would come in there, try to rough you up a little bit, and Bernie'd be there fighting him off.
Yeah.
Now a guy comes in, says one thing about his hair. Bernie lays down his shield and runs for cover. Don.
Yes, sir.
You're the Chicago Cubs of talk radio. And I hold you responsible. If you don't get this thing shaped up, you're going to be down on 42nd Street with a monkey on your shoulder. I tell you what, Don. I'm back, and we're shaping this thing up. Now, here's what we're going to do.
All right, Coach.
One, McCord. He's going to quit hiding behind these skits, and he's going to start taking responsibility for what he said.
No, please, Coach, no.
Okay, now, Bernie, you know when you guys have that staff meeting in the afternoon to decide what you're going to do the next day?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're sending Bernie down to Gleason's gym and get him in shape, because all he's doing is nodding his head yes anyway. Okay? And the Italian guy in the control room?
Yeah, Rufino.
Here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to hire a nice Italian girl.
Yeah.
We're going to bring her in. We're going to let her put a pot of tomato sauce on in the morning. He'll smell it. That'll make him happy, and you'll get a lot out of him. What do you think?
I think that sounds great.
Huh?
We're talking with Bill Parcells. We're not talking.
No, we're listening.
We're listening to the head coach of the New York Jets.
The only reason
Bill
I
Parcells.
considered coming down there,
Yes, sir.
you know, is because I might look good next to you on Halloween week.
Ben, you're fired up this morning, aren't you, Coach?
I tell you, it's a shame what's happened to you in 5 years to watch this disintegration. Let me get it straight now. Let me get this straight.
All right, Coach.
Your guys, your bosses,
Yeah.
pay you $5 million a year to sell your brother's stuff, and you get 50% of that? I should have such a deal.
I wouldn't work for $5 million a year, Coach. That's first of all.
That's half what you think you're worth, isn't it?
That's about right, yeah. So how are you?
Well, I'm languishing in impoverished obscurity around here.
Do you hate having this week off, or
Yeah, I do.
why?
No, well, because you just when you get in that mode, you got to go.
You know, this is the truth. I actually spent all weekend calling Lupica, McCord, everybody else trying to think of, I love you, you know that, but trying to think of annoying questions to ask you just to see if we could get you fired up this morning. But you came out of the chute fired up. So.
Well, I mean, I have been, in Boston, when you first went on up there,
Yeah.
there was only 2 guys sticking up for you, me and Barnacle.
I remember that.
Well, they would have thrown you out up there if we weren't on your side.
Where did the nickname Tuna come from? What's that all about?
That's about a 1980 thing when a couple players tried to sucker me into doing something, and I said, "Who do you think I am, Charlie the Tuna?" And it just kind of caught on, so they called me that a little, and then, as you know, once the media gets a hold of something, away we go.
This adversarial relationship you have with the media, sometimes when we brain plays these cuts of yours, and some of them are hilarious, where you're like the FTD florist message was one of the all-time great responses to what was a pretty stupid question. But is it an adversarial relationship, or is it about half tongue-in-cheek with you?
Well, it's mostly tongue-in-cheek. Now, I understand they have a job to do.
Yeah.
And so do I. Sometimes they don't coincide. I'm not compelled to tell them everything, but I try to help them do their job by and large. And I understand that they're here and they need information. I try to give it to them. It's just when guys want to become part of the story that bothers me.
Well, the thing that occurred to me, that the way you resolved this quarterback controversy this week, I wondered then, do things that are written in the press maybe not affect you, and things said on these various radio and television talk shows, have any kind of significant impact on particularly the players?
Well, I'll answer that seriously. I think if they listen, it's only human to absorb some of the information. So I think it can if you as a coach don't let it happen. You know, if you don't call to the players' attention, hey, this isn't correct, or really this is not what's involved here. Yeah, I think it can.
You know what I thought was awful? When Bill Buckner, I'm sure you remember that World Series game.
Oh, sure. I'm a Red Sox guy.
Well, how they ran him, I mean, I guess the fans almost ran him out of Massachusetts by some of the horrible things that were either written in the press about him, but I guess even fans going to his house and calling his house. I mean, it reaches a level in that particular instance where it's almost criminal behavior.
Well, that's what Buckner and I have in common. They almost ran me out, too. They had satellite dishes over at my house. But, yeah, I understand. Fans get wound up about something, and they're involved. And, you know, it becomes more than what it should be, which is a baseball game or a football game, and keep it in perspective. That's what it is. It's not rocket science.
There's a letter that I think I heard somebody say that you carry around from this. It was a kind of interesting story, but I'm not up to speed on it. From this Texas football coach, what's that all about?
Oh, that was just a long time ago, Don. A guy named Gordon Wood, who won more games than any coach that I know of, 405 games in 41 years. That's a pretty outstanding record, and he's a guy that just met me 20 years ago, and I didn't really know who he was. I was coaching out there in Texas, and he came up and watched, and he's just a guy that had won a lot of games and kind of served as an inspiration to me that a guy 60 years old would be driving 4 or 5 hours a day just to try to pick up a little fragment of information that could help his team win. And he's a guy that I've admired in coaching, and really no one, probably too many people have ever heard of him, but he's a guy that just accomplished a great deal in this business, and he had a fairly strong impact on me with his, I guess, devotion to his job, I think is the best way to put it. How are you feeling, Don?
I feel great, Coach.
Attaboy. You know, the other thing, Don, is I want to tell you something.
Yes, sir.
Nobody gives a damn where you buy your cowboy boots, okay?
Yeah, well.
So give that thing a rest, too, will you?
You mean those stallion cowboy boots?
Oh, yeah, those things.
Down there in El Paso, Texas.
Yeah,
you know, this may sound like a stupid question, but for somebody, I'm a football fan, but I'm not for example, I'll read in the paper, well, the team, not your team, but maybe any team, they didn't tackle well, they didn't do this well, and I'm not sophisticated enough of a fan to recognize that. I just recognize whether the guys complete passes and they run well and so on. But here's my question: what is it that you do and that your coaches do that can take a team that won one game last year with essentially the same players and have them win through the first half of the season 5 games this year? What is it?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. You just try to do what you think's the right way to go about it. You try to instill some pride and some discipline and say, hey, here's the way we're going to try to do things, and hopefully the formula works. But they don't sell insurance for it, Don. I mean, you know, there's no guarantees it's going to work or that the second half of the season is going to be better than the first or anything. It just takes kind of the nose to the grindstone approach, and that's what I've always tried to do. And If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then you just try harder the next time. That's all.
Well, see, I was wondering whether you did mention discipline. I was wondering whether it was discipline, whether it was conditioning, or it was.
I think it's all of the above. You gotta, when you put a team together, you got to get it organized, and you got to give the players something to. I've always believed this, and I'm being very serious here. The players deserve a chance to win, and you as a coach, you got to try to give them a chance to win by doing the best you can for them. And that is to instruct them and condition them and teach them and give them a good design and try to get them to play. That's what you're doing when you're coaching. If you're not doing that, then you're not coaching.
I always laugh when these coaches, not just in football but in various sports, sign a 3-year deal and they announce that they have a 4-year plan. So,
well, yeah, I know that. It's just you just coach until you can't get it done anymore, and once you can't, somebody else usually lets you know,
You guys play the Ravens this week?
Yeah, we play the Ravens. They got a good offense, too. They score a lot of points, so I'm nervous. They got Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, well, he's still not throwing the ball on the ground. I guess he's completely...
No, he's doing pretty well right now. They beat the Redskins yesterday down there in Washington. That'll make some of your political friends upset.
And we're going to start.
Not that you got too many of those.
I thought I was doing better than ever until I talked to you. Jesus, I'm so depressed now. I'm going to have to go back in the hospital.
Hey, we got to shape the place up.
Boy, believe me, I understand
that. You guys are a bunch of fat cats.
I may have needed this pep talk.
Let's go.
Coach, great to talk with you.
Thanks, Don.
Good luck the rest of the season, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. We'll talk again.
Bill Parcells, head football coach of the New York Jets, with more material than you've had in about 3 years, Bernard.
I'm whooped.
Man, I mean, he was out. He had more material than Russert.
Yeah, he was smoking.
Yeah, he was smoking.
He must have had
Bull
breakfast already.
I looked at the clock. He had 4 minutes.
But you just, yes, sir.
That's a lot of material, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Fabulous.
Yeah, well, I like him. Well, of course I like him. 17 till the hour.
It isn't about messages. I love that one. I mean, I'm not being wise guy. There's no messages. I'm trying to win the game. It's not about a message. Message. This isn't any FTD florist operation we're doing.
Every morning